Hey, let's go! First game on, bro. I was hoping that was the last kill, but jeez, I really went for a risky snipe there. Ooh, what the fuck did I just do? My taint hurts. Ooh. Dude, my balls like hurt so bad right now. I don't know what the fuck I just did. So I'm just going to come out and say that Warzone and PUBG both ran way better with the new RAM configuration at 32 gigabytes of RAM with a higher frequency of 3900 megahertz. Because if you just compare the two with my old RAM configuration, you see a 19 FPS increase in Warzone and you see a 24 FPS increase in PUBG. And, you know, just compare the two, like that's a pretty big dip. Like if say about 144 hertz refresh rate, you want to run it with VSync on or VSync off, either way, this will get you those extra frames you need to match your monitor. So if that's your case, then this is perfect for you. As far as the Warzone frames, I mean, any frames is good, right? Like I averaged 88 on my first run and 107 on the second run. Even if you have a higher refresh rate monitor, turn on G-Sync, V-Sync, and it'll bring your refresh rate down to your frames. You'll be able to play smoothly at the higher frames than say you have my old RAM configuration 88. That's same thing, but just worse frame rate. Either one would run a 60 hertz monitor configuration really well. So if you're not running at higher refresh rates, in theory, it doesn't affect you that much, but Linus Tech Tips does have a video where it does matter. FPS. Higher FPS does actually affect you even if you run at 60 hertz, like a standard monitor. So this could help. Generally, it's not recommended to spend more on RAM for your setup. If you have extra money to throw at a GPU, etc., that's generally the accepted way of increasing your frames. Get a better GPU in general, except that the market is so messed up right now. So maybe you want to upgrade from, like me, a 2070 Super to something like a 3080. Well, I'd have to pay extra couple $1,000s just to do that. And honestly, that doesn't sound like a good time. So why not spend $190 like I did on my RAM configuration, upgrade it from 16 gigabytes to 32 gigabytes, which is practical for me as well. Because if you're a content creator like me, running multiple applications at the same time, you're going to run into issues with games like these. With Warzone, I've had so much stuttering on my streams while trying to play the game, and those are only application apps open. And now while running these tests, I see that with the 32 gigabyte RAM configuration, the game all of a sudden wanted to use 16 gigabytes of RAM just in the game. So that would take up my whole previous RAM configuration, which leads me to believe that's what the difference in frames actually is. And maybe things like DLSS, I did have that on. Maybe those will be able to actually run better with the configuration. Who knows? I'm not sure exactly the differences. I just know it works. And so one thing about the higher frequency on these tests, in theory, it doesn't matter too much. In most tests, they see that anything with ultra graphics generally doesn't change much with frequency. But anything that's CPU intensive, there's CPU games like there's CPU based games like CSGO, like that would definitely benefit from the increased frequency just because it's so CPU reliant. Also, other applications like, you know, Blender, etc. I'll show you those tests as well, but for now, just know that at least for gaming, this RAM configuration that I have now is way better, at least for newer games like AA games. Since it's upgraded in multiple facets, it should be just good for anything because higher frequencies are generally shown to raise your FPS if you're at 1080p minimum settings, which a lot of people play on minimum instead of ultra. Say even if you have a low RAM, say when you spend your money on a cheaper RAM configuration like 8 gigabits or 16 gigabits, still going with a higher frequency such as something like 3200 megahertz, 3600 megahertz. If your motherboard can stretch that extra frequency, it will still improve your experience at 1080p minimum settings, and that's graphic settings. So moving on from all that, that's pretty much that whole section. I'll show you a couple of benchmarks I did started. For the next phase and Cinebench and extra CPU benchmarking tests, as well as whole system configuration tests, there was improvements from the initial test. Don't get me wrong, but I was not able to overclock my CPU. I spent 2 days doing it, and thus far, I don't have the most optimal setup for my computer. For those of you that's this part of the video, I appreciate you guys. Let me know what other games you want me to test. I still have my old RAM, so I can throw that bad boy back in my computer, test some other games for you guys if you want to know if your specific game is going to work. If your specific game is going to see an improvement. Let me know if you found this video interesting, because honestly I put a lot of effort into not just a video but trying to learn about overclocking in general. This may not become as a surprise, but I've never built my own computer and I've never even messed with computer components until yesterday, and I spent just an hour just trying to get the RAM to work in the computer because I wasn't clicking it enough in there, I guess, so it wouldn't post. Took me so long to figure that out. I just had so many issues, and like I said, with manual overclocking, I learned a lot about overclocking. I was able to get it to run at a higher frequency of the CPU, but it just didn't work out. And here are the tests. I'll let it play out, but that's going to be the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you didn't, then fuck you. But I appreciate you guys regardless. You're getting me views. And I appreciate you for being interested in the topic. There's something we all can learn about these topics. Let me know what you know. If I did these tests in a weird way, maybe you want me to show, mins and 0.1% performance, stuff like that for frames. I would have done that in this case, but Fraps did not record mins and maxes properly. For some of the tests, it showed 0 on mins. So I just went ahead and showed only average FPS. I get it's not the most scientific. Also, I could do more runs for each game to get a better average for the average FPS, just to make it, scientific. But other than that, I'll still work on these types of videos. I've never done this before, so I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for sticking around. Leave a like, leave a sub, watch some of my other content. I do a lot of gaming stuff, a lot of stuff that's less boring than this, but still, this will help you play your games and stream if you want to get started. And I'll leave links in the description if you want to check those out for some RAM you can buy. These are paid links through Amazon. If you don't want to buy them, that's cool. But if you do find something that's in your budget, say I paid $190 for mine, you don't have to do that. You can buy something for like $70, $80, $90, but there is more expensive RAM configurations than the one I had. So if you want that, get it down below. If you get a different one, make sure it fits your motherboard standards. I just went out and bought a RAM that is specified only for the Z490 motherboards and newer motherboards, and mine's Z390, and I'm lucky it even runs at all. I just had to run the XMP profile and tone it down to 3.9 gigahertz instead of 4. I'll show you how to do that in another video as well, because I don't want to leave you hanging on that. I learned so much from forums and from videos during the last 2 days. I'll still learn more. Hopefully I can get this CPU overclock to work so I can make better videos, and it'll show way better CPU improvements, not just from the RAM, but from overclocking the cores, finding a good voltage that doesn't overheat and can run stably. Hopefully I can do all that. But if not, I'll leave you with this. Once again, I appreciate you guys. Leave a like and peace. Some work on it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. No, don't jump. No, bro. I had all the armor and shit set up there. Fucking A. I did hear someone. Too late. He's dead. Let's go. Headshot, bitch. One of them. I heard his ass. 2 more people. See where I heard where he is. Is that him in the grass? I gotta win this, bro. The benchmarking, God. He's in a ghillie, bruh. Dude, I couldn't aim in. I'm holding the button to aim in. Can't believe I landed on that molly. I didn't know he had a ghillie. I just seen him crawling, so I couldn't tell if I was hitting him, bruh. God, that's so frustrating. Oh, and he got behind a bush too. Oh no. Look at this pussy, dude. Who does shit like this? I didn't hit him with a single shot. Wow, what a good throw right there. But he wasn't aiming down either. Oh my gosh. Okay, you're fucking gay. Can I report people for that dance? That's griefing, dude. I really fucking lost that. The old... Bruh.